If I think of loyalty programs, especially as a consumer, there's a bit of fatigue, right? Like yet another thing where I need to go collect points, where I need to spend money to get some value out of it.
For us, it's really a way also to know our consumer better, to provide them with the news that they care about. And when you have a great content, if you follow a brand and the brand is able to provide you that part of the puzzle that will interest you, I think this is just a great match.
How do you bring the walking society into the stores or into any physical experiences?
We love this recent technology, which is the e-wallet, so you can download it, you can have your personalized walking society pass, so you can be recognized within the stores. You have all your purchases history and so on.
Camper seems to put a lot of focus on sustainability. So take us through that a little bit. What's the idea? Where is it headed?
We try to focus on promoting what we feel are the best practice for our community, like repairing, reusing, which seems kind of obvious, but I can tell you there's a massive effort. Some of the services are available worldwide, and most importantly have been digitalized so that we are able to better align with our consumer needs and expectations.
Today we're stepping into the world of sustainable footwear with Alan Ferrero, Digital Director at Camper. We'll explore Camper's innovative Walking Society loyalty program, their groundbreaking sustainability initiatives, and how they're reimagining the digital retail experience. From modular shoe designs to circular fashion concepts, get ready for an inspiring look at how a 50-year-old brand is walking boldly into the future. Let's spotlight the future of footwear. Welcome to the podcast, Alan. There's quite a few topics that I'm very excited to dive into with you today. But before we do that, I would love for you to tell us a bit about yourself, give us a view into your journey to getting to where you are today, and we'll pick it up from there.
Yeah, thanks, Mito. Thanks for inviting me today. I would say that my journey has been quite a unique one. I haven't done the usual path within the footwear industry, but I'm here today mostly because I feel that footwear is the most exciting product of the retail industry, right? My journey here has begun 7-8 years ago when I joined Fox Racing. Fox Racing is a Californian brand. They're probably a leader in the motocross and mountain bike industry. So they're well known for their boots, for their mountain bike shoes, and so on. And this really gave me the perfect foundation to build an understanding of the market, of the trends. How do I launch a product? How do I understand what the consumer need? Why a line isn't working anymore, or what do a brand needs to be successful, right? So all those strategic topics that I've been in contact with, and yeah, I truly enjoyed that time. I was saying that my journey is not the usual one because my early days, I'm coming from an investment fund. So I always said that I moved from a venture capital into a private equity job. I'm coming from a strong financial and strategic background, moving into consumer experience, B2C, and product management has always been. I think it's been challenging. It's been a big move, a big transitions, but I truly love it. I found new passions, like passion for products, passion for brands, for their stories, like a strong brand, of course, the one that they have to say something. Closing up recently, like in the past 3 years, with the COVID pandemic, I relocated to Barcelona. And that's when I joined Camper. I worked there as digital director, and it was an absolute discovery. Camper is just an amazing brand. From a product perspective, from a cultural perspective, it's been really a super good match. Those have been like 3 thrilling years. I would just say it's unique, Camper. It's between artistry, technology, and culture. It's just a unique blend.
I like that, artistry, technology, and culture. And with digital, I guess you're somewhere in the mix between artistry and technology. The word digital means a lot of things in a lot of different contexts, right? Especially when you think of retail. Can you break down a bit what digital director at Camper means? What are the topics that you're focused on? What are you excited about? What do you go every morning or to your laptop or to your office and start working on?
It's a good question. And also, again, I think it's quite a peculiar role because under myself, I have several departments, and I like between my umbrella, I have CRM, which is not that common for a digital director. I have the part of
Hmm.
social media, the part of digital marketing, and of course the part of digital sales. But it's not just a pure sale role. It's a bit broader, and it's what I love. Like it puts me in contact a lot actually, a lot more than expected in contact with brand, a lot more in contact with other departments, and again, especially CRM really helped me out developing new marketing skills that I probably didn't have before.
Very fascinating. I think especially the intersection by being across these different elements with the other parts of the business is something I would like to come back to in a second. But if we double click a bit into that, so you mentioned CRM, you mentioned digital sales, and then you mentioned um, the online
Social
channels or
media,
social media.
yeah, online channels, of course, and also all the business technology part. I mean, there's a department dedicated, but all the part of evolving the online experience is within my department. Yeah, but this is more classical. This is more part of the standard role, right?
The standard digital role, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, that's the reason I asked, because some businesses, when they say digital, they're really talking only e-com. So what I find already, I guess, unique or one step ahead of the curve here is you've really taken all the digital functions, regardless of whether you're talking about e-com or physical retail or brand elements, and club them together in one digital world. Um, of all of these, I can imagine one element that touches the user the most and also exists across all those verticals would be perhaps your loyalty program.
Yeah, correct. It's crucial to our strategy. Let me say that in Camper we do have a strong community that has been developed
Hmm.
long years. Camper next year will turn 50, so there will be a big party, big celebration, but also means that there's a strong history behind. All along these 50 years, the brand has been keen to really grow a community of people
Hmm.
that are engaged with the brand, that share the values, share the whys of the brand. I think this is one of the most important things. And recently, what we ended up with is more than a loyalty program. We call it really our home for our
Hmm.
supporters, for the brand fans, for the ones that are in touch with the brand, and so on. And we call it the Walking Society. The Walking Society has always been Camper's manifesto. The Walking Society is at the beginning was literally a book, like a photo book, where the
Hmm.
brand for every collection was releasing super nice shooting about Mediterranean islands. So they were traveling across the islands of the Med, uh, well, every year, every 6 months, actually, a new island, and was sharing this beautiful content, this super artistic content with its community. And now it's more. Now we decided to consolidate into these like services, like important services like Recamper. I hope we're gonna discuss about it because it's super innovative, super around sustainability and so on. It involves like access to exclusive event. It really tried to create values for the community, which is at the center, at the end, at the center of everything we do in Camper.
So talk me through that a little bit, right? How does this program work? It sounds like instead of the more standard transactional programs where I spend, I get points, you're really vibing off of this community element. So how does that work? What happens when I join the program? How do you even get customers into it? And what experiences do you provide that take it to the next level?
Yeah, correct. It's not transactional because we don't believe that people are following us for I don't know, for the price of our shoes or to get a discount and so on. I think we do that as well, but it's more discounting. It's more encouraging, like customers that to try a new style and so on. But no, it's purely about our values. Like the Walker Society really embodies the values of the brand. So it's really sharing with our consumers what are our values throughout taking them out and taking them exploring the different islands of the Mediterranean. Um, it's sharing with them important events. And I will just give you an example. We've been working with Ineos. Ineos is one of the challengers team of the America's Cup. We made the sailing shoes for them. And of course, the collaboration was so good that they invited us. They gave us a bunch of VIP ticket and so on. And of course, first thought was, okay, let's make them available for the community. I think it's super actual because America's Cup will be ruling right after the Olympics. Or Camper is also in the hotellery business. We have a couple of hotels in Barcelona and in Berlin, and yeah, and
Okay.
those normally are couple of times per year are made available to the community. Like, or whenever we run a party, we always have a keen eye for the community. So it's really try to involve these people
Mhm.
into who we are and to what we do.
That's really cool because if I think of loyalty programs, especially as a consumer, there's a bit of fatigue, right? Like, get another thing where I need to go collect points, where I need to spend money to get some value out of.
It's for us, it's really a way also to know our consumer better, to provide them with the news that they care about, and yeah, and to have fun with them. When you have a great content, if you follow a brand and the brand is able to provide you that part of the puzzle that really interests you, I think this is just a great match. And this is what we're trying
Very
to do
cool.
ultimately.
And how big is this program right now? Like, how many of your customers, percentage wise, who are shopping with you would be members at the moment?
Yeah.
What's
So
the impact of it?
at the beginning we were thinking to have a CRM program and then a the Walkie Society program. And then we
Hmm.
decided to go radical and we said, no, like the Walkie Society is just our database. The two things are the same,
Right.
because if you follow the brand, you must be interested in it. If not, it's almost like it needs to be a mutual relationship. Either you are interested to the content that we want to provide you, either probably we're not interested in you. And it needs to be mutual. It needs to be a connection. The full program evolves around 3.5 million people, which for
Okay.
a company like Camper is a lot. Yeah, for the current turnover is quite a lot. And the good thing is that everyone is super engaged. Like we overcount also in terms of digital sales. We overcount on our database in terms of engagement. We see like super good open rates, super good engagement in our posts, in our emails, and so on. So I mean, everyone is pretty at the current evolution of the program. And we do aim to 10 millions. So I think this is the most important thing. It's not what we've done, it's what we're looking for.
Where you're headed, right? Which direction you're walking in. I love that. And what I find unique about this, again, I see a common thread here, right? Of an integrative approach to doing things where, digital is integrated, it seems, but also loyalty is integrated with CRM, your database, your content, and so on and so forth, which a lot of other brands struggle to do, right? You'll have someone sitting somewhere with their CRM silo and their CRM responsibilities, and they're shooting out an email campaign, and then someone else is doing brand content, and then someone else is doing the loyalty program. And, maybe they're exchanging a bit of data, but still three different things. So what I want to understand is, how did this evolution happen? Was someone thinking miles ahead on day one and saying, we need to do all of this together? Did that evolve over time and involve a lot of effort to break those silos down? What are we looking at there?
No, I think it came really naturally, like then again, I'm in the company since 3 years, but we launched the program when I arrived. So I feel like I
Okay.
feel part of it. I think at the beginning was really about how can we reward our consumer with exceptional content, like and then
Mhm.
and we started the Walkie Society magazine, because at the beginning it was a photo shoot, it was a magazine. No, it was discovering the island of the Med and so on. Also, I think camper consumer have really this appetite for traveling, for culture and music,
Mhm.
arts, and so on. And I think, I mean, honestly, the Mediterranean islands are full of this. And then it was like, okay, but how can we, like formalize this thing? Because if not, how should we call our community? Should we call it database? Yeah, it sounds ugly, right? And then because the Walking Society was so appreciated with, and then we merged the two things. So one of the best product, or the best type of content that we were giving to our community, became also the name of the community. And then we tried to put everything under the same umbrella.
Amazing. And what were the struggles with doing that? So they launched it when you came, but it seems like you've been part of that journey from, I guess, 0 to 3.5 million. Walk us through a bit of the struggles you faced in this, because just to frame why I'm so curious about this is, I feel like this is the new idea of loyalty, and a lot of new programs will emerge like this. It ties also well into that zeitgeist of Gen Z being more experience driven than transaction or material driven. And if your program is providing an experience and a community feeling, which people are also missing right now on a global level, I think that's going to be what ends up really being the benchmark going forward, right? But I can
Yeah, I hope
imagine
so.
in getting there, there are challenges both from a consumer perspective, from an organization perspective, and even a technology perspective. So can you break those down a little bit for us?
The first challenge is how inspirational you want to be, right? Because I think it's
Mhm.
easy just being transactional and so on. I think the program itself, we really set up strong pillars, as I was saying before. Like we talk about products, we talk about recamper and sustainability, and then we talk about our islands, our roots, and so on. We don't we are not only gonna provide our consumer with commercial communications. I think this is the first thing. Despite we have great ambition, we want to stay true to ourselves, and we really want to
Mhm.
keep this high level conversation with our consumers because we think they deserve them. They deserve it. On the other side, yeah, you said well. Like I think Gen Z is now is a target for every brand. It's a target also for Camper, of course. And yes, on one side they are less loyal to brands. Probably they tend to try new experience, new brands, and so on. But it's also true that they recognize the value of a brand, which try to
Right.
connect to a different level, to a higher level. And so this is the thing on this one. We're doing good in terms of challenges. Of course, on one side we have to deal with all those loyalty points program, because they are, of course, I mean, there are clients with an appetite for them. And on the other side, of course, we had to evolve our CRM and website technology in order to always provide the best experience to our consumers. Well, this is our duty, like to evolve together with the latest technology in order to stay at the level for our consumer. So since I'm here, I think so. We have evolved the website, we have changed the CRM platform, we have adopted CDP. I mean, so on and so on. Now we are changing the ESP. It's a never-ending technological evolution.
And how do customers get into this database, into this ecosystem? What are my paths into the program?
So no, the program is quite open. I think it's more a match between us and our consumer. We try to run this acquisition campaign where we really explain the brand, the values behind. Like this year, I think there was a massive campaign for the Walkie Society, which was on Menorca, like amazing shooting and so on. And it's really like a win-win. Like if you like the content and if the content resonates with you, you can be part of the program. Or we also did it with Kobara. Kobara is a fantastic style. Is a super advanced sandal. We did a massive True Love campaign, and again, if it resonates, you subscribe. You don't have to create an account. I mean, we are super easy. We feel that the relationship needs to be a mutual relationship. Like you need to stay with us because you want to stay with us. That's it. So it's
I love it.
it's, it's super easy to subscribe, super easy to unsubscribe. We feel it needs to be open. It's kind of a modern way of looking at CRM.
You really want people to stay because they want to be there and not because they
Exactly.
are somehow tricked to be there. And I love that. How does a lot of what you're describing makes complete sense in a digital world? How does this translate into the physical world? How do you bring the walking society into the stores, for example, or into any physical experiences?
Yeah, it's a good question actually, and it took us a little bit to arrive there. But it's true that like the walking society is so part of camper culture and values that at the end it was not easy, but was obvious to adapt the speeches of the sales managers. It was adapt the creativity of the stores. We also adopt this new technology. We struggle a little bit because I mean it's true that Camper is a shoemaker, but it's also quite an evolved technological company. But we adopt this recent technology, which is the e-wallet. Like so you can
Hmm.
download it, you can have your personalized the Walkie Society pass, so you can be recognized within the stores. You have all your purchases history and so on. And for the consumer, for the stores, it's really easier to recognize you and so on. We try to build always a 360. So it's true that throughout digital channels it's easier, but we feel it's also important to give the same level of experience within the stores.
Amazing. I especially like this idea of customers having a certain pride in sort of even identifying themselves when they come in with their pass and saying, I'm a walking society member. And even the notion of training staff to tell the story differently, to talk about it differently. I think that's one thing that often brands forget in launching these new initiatives is, in the end, they survive or fail based on the last person, right? The last person that the brand is representing interacting with the consumer. And if you have these beautiful images, this beautiful content, this beautiful story out there, but in the store I'm being treated in a very normal retail transactional way, that's not going to come through. And I think that seems like a very non-technological but yet very important ingredient that you guys seem to have cracked in this process. One thing
Yeah, I
you speak
think
about a lot.
yeah,
Sorry,
sorry,
go
no, I
ahead.
was just saying, I think technology can only support, of course, your strategy, and especially in terms of customer experience. Like I think for us, it's more how do we provide the best experience, and then we go after the technology, then rather than the other way around. Correct?
And that's how we put the customer in the spotlight. Another sort of touch point, or another thing you mentioned a lot about, you've spoken a lot about, is also culture and values. And while researching, I saw that Camper seems to put a lot of focus on sustainability, for example, right? And again, if you tie it into these beautiful islands, the nature, all of those elements, it just fits. um, and I know that one of the initiatives within that scope, which also seems to tie a bit to the Walking Society, is Recamper. So take us through that a little bit. What's the idea? Where does it come from? Where is it headed? Because, like you said, we need to look forward. I'd love to break that down a little bit for the audience.
Yeah, sure. And actually, you're quite lucky because I'm deeply involved in the program. The initiative is a cornerstone, right, of all our sustainability effort. With Recamper, we try to focus on promoting what we feel are the best practice for our community, like repairing, reusing, which seems kind of obvious, but I can tell you there's a massive effort behind, and there are not so many brands that are dealing with this topic, especially in the footwear industry, right? Like
Hmm.
repairing a t-shirt is way different than repairing a shoe. For me, the most amazing thing when you're asking where it comes from and so on is that the Camper initiative is nothing but new. It's a project that has been originated in the 90s. It's really an early commitment from the brand towards
Hmm.
like waste management. Literally like Recamper outlets were born to manage. I would call it suboptimal production. Like B stock or C stocks,
Hmm.
excess inventory, and really aiming to minimize the waste, minimize your environmental impact. If we're talking about the 90s, it's not just a marketing initiative, like there was a true commitment behind. And yeah, for me, like I think Camper in this sense, it's really like an environmental forerunner.
Hmm.
Um, Nowadays, Recamper, of course, has evolved, has expanded.
Hmm.
Some of the services are available worldwide, and most importantly, have been digitalized. Like so that we are able to better align with our consumer needs and expectations. Because of course, there's not a camper store behind every corner, and then a lot of our customers, around like maybe 60%, are digital. So we felt it was really important to have a platform where they can benefit from our services. Uh, as of now, as of 2024, Recamper encompasses four main services, trying to design this life cycle around the shoe. Um, we start from care and repair. This service offers the customers a range of options. We say to extend the life of their shoe. So it's not just
Hmm.
cleaning, it's waterproofing, is resoling, is restitching. It's really our first recommendation for customers who want to extend the life of their shoes or who values the longevity of their footwear. Like imagine you're super attached to your shoe, but there's something that makes them less comfy, less useful as before, but you really want to repair them because you don't want to throw them. Okay, that's the service for you. Um,
How does
then
this
we have
work in
take
the
back.
digital world? Go ahead.
Well, digitally, you can submit your request and you can
Hmm.
ship the shoes to us. We are organize all the service for you. This is kind of beta. We have already launched it last year, only for Spain. We did more than 2,000. We repaired more than 2,000 pairs. So now, right in September, it will be launched on a European scale. ultimately, we believe that it's more about the mindset, right? So if you want to repair your shoe, okay, we will try to bring them in our Mallorca repair store, try to fix it and send it back. Again, there's a strong cultural component, right? It's not just about business. It's truly about how can we make sure that people understand the importance of repairing. Then we have Take Back. I was saying the back is just an innovative service, right? And I found it brilliant because it addressed a clear customer problem, right? Which is, what
Mhm.
should I do with my pre-loved shoes? What should I do when I don't need them anymore, right? And throughout this program, customers can trade in their old camper shoes for camper credits.
Mhm.
The good thing is that we take the shoes in, we categorize them, we identify
Mhm.
those ones that can be repurposed, like resold, like donated, and we try to responsibly handling the one that are at the end of the life cycle. Then moving forward, and then the event was a massive success. I mean, we were surprised that it has generated a lot of enthusiasm
Mhm.
around these return shoes, and which are thousands. So we collected thousands of shoes. So we decided to launch also Rewalk. Rewalk is a collection of second-hand and second quality products,
Mhm.
which aim to, let's say, reduce waste, uh, promote reuse, promote reusing certain shoes, but also ultimately provide customer a broader range of shopping options. I mean, I would say those two programs together really extend the life of the footwear, right? And also, I
Mhm.
think they are fully aligned with our commitments to sustainability. The last program I want to walk you through is Recrafted, which is the most creative one. It consists in 1 or 2 drops per year. It's a special upcycling collection which aim to transform production waste or second-hand shoes into beautiful and unique products.
And is each
Yeah,
shoe different in that, or are there series that are launched within the crafted?
it really depends. We are collaborating with artists. So we did already several recrafted shoes, but the program will be launched 2025, which is the 50th anniversary. So we really have in plan shoe strong collaborations with artists for the new recrafted, and it will be not only shoes, it will also be accessories. I think more to come, definitely more to come.
Excited to see that.
And
Um,
one of the other program, additionally, just to conclude, is we're exploring recycling solutions. It's
mhm.
currently in beta, so I would not say that we are recycling because it's super complex, but we are collaborating with various companies to tackle this complex challenge.
Very cool. Sounds like this is one of the, I think, as you call it, right, the cornerstone projects around which you're doing a lot of activities. One thing I was wondering is, how does this tie into something like the Walking Society? Like, the credits I get, are they tied to my Walking Society account? Are there special benefits with drops if I'm a Walking Society member? Like, how do you connect Recamper and the Walking Society together right now?
Yeah, so as I was saying, it's more on the ideological side, like the Walkie
Hmm.
Society is truly who we are, and Recamper
Hmm.
being our sustainable part of our initiatives, or our sustainable umbrella is part of the Walking Society, because sustainability is part of who we are. Then, I mean, you have a unique account, so all your purchases, your interaction with the brand and so on are connected. Your credit can be redeemed in every store, can be redeemed in camper.com platforms. So it's on this one you really cover 360. But for us, it's really important the cultural point of view, or the ideological point of view. Like you have an umbrella which we call the Walkie Society, which embodies all camper values or camper ideas and so on. And within those values and idea, of course, there is sustainability with Recamper.
Perfect. All well integrated, well rounded. What are the next initiatives when it comes to digital that you're most excited about at the moment?
Yeah, again, as I was saying, we are launching the repair platform, or the repair journey
Hmm.
online. I think it's going to be a cool one. I mean, I cannot wait really to have our consumer being able to to accede to this repair program just by connect to camper.com. Recrafted next year gonna be massive. It's gonna be super creative, disruptive, and next year is Camper 50th anniversary. So there's definitely more to come.
Very exciting. If you think of the journey so far, right? You've been doing this for 3 years now, clearly working on some very exciting and innovative projects, but also all of which seem to have sort of a red thread going through them. What are some of the most unexpected elements you've come across in this, uh, from the perspective of digital, right?
Absolute good question. So of course, I would say I joined Camper right after COVID, where
Hmm.
digital was booming. Okay, I would say no one was really expecting kind of slowdown and kind of back to retail parts. So let's say we did certain investment um, and we planned for certain things that are happening, but maybe not fully happening. So this shift to digital and then shift back to retail and then digital coming back has been, of course, challenging from a management point of view. But then overall, the other theme for me was the evolution of the company in these 3 years has been massive. The direction that the company is taking in terms of inspirational and sustainability has been great. It was challenging, but it was extremely an interesting path for digital. Try to make this vision true.
You touched upon one topic, right? This sort of jump between online and retail and back to online. We looked at this from the Walking Society's perspective, but that's one element. How do you see digital playing out in the physical world at the moment, especially when you think of the campus stores?
Um, I think ultimately is on-off type of experience are extremely important, are vital. And I mean, I think Camper is an absolute example of it, not only from a front-end perspective, so not only in terms of interaction with the users, that of course, like you can have the latest point of sales, the digital point of sales, and so on. We believe that at the end, like having the real shoes there is still unbeatable, but at some point maybe we're going to also evolve in this direction. But what I say in terms of on-off experience, I also mean from a back-end perspective. Let's
Hmm.
imagine that all camper stock is connected worldwide, which means that every shoe in every store and so on can be purchased, of course, according to certain criteria and so on. But this really maximize the stock and really minimize our waste. I think this technologically wise, it's absolutely. I think it's one of the most the best tool that the company is giving to my department.
Very cool. So you have the ability to buy online, pick up in store, buy online, return in store, all of those sort of classic
Correct. But you
elements.
also have the ability of, let's say, cross-checking the stock between
Hmm.
.com and like in store you can purchase a shoe which is available on .com, and in .com you can purchase a shoes which is only available in a store. This is super powerful.
And you can do this across the world, more or less.
Yes.
Very cool. So if I go into the campus store in Berlin tomorrow and they don't have what I need, maybe it's coming to me from Barcelona a week later. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's super complex, and we are minimizing here. But that's the level of service that the company is trying to provide for two things. Of course, for making the shoes always available to the consumer, and on the other side, to maximize stock management or to minimize waste. Yes.
Makes perfect sense. See that, the store has a lot of stuff going on. The back end is taken care of. Let's talk about experience in the digital world. Let's talk about how personalization plays into all of this. You know something about me. I'm a Walking Society member. You've seen me interact with your products and services. How are you using that information right now to give me an even more camper experience?
Yeah, exactly. So it's part of our commitment to enhance your customer experience. And let's say we can use your data to provide you a better experience, but we can also try to offer you customized personalization, right?
Hmm.
And all these through the Walkie Society. Like you need to be a member to access all of these. One of the program I want to discuss with you because I think it's quite unique is Camper One.
Hmm.
Camper One is a good mix of technology innovation, but also craftsmanship. Um, Camper One for me exemplifies our dedication to our consumer, to craftsmanship, and to personalization. It's a program. It's a 3D platform, 3D digital platform, which allows you to build, to create your unique footwear. It's available on camper.com. So I think it's quite interesting. I think other brands are doing it, but what I like of Camper One is that not only gives you the possibility of fully customize your shoe, like from the insole, outsole, laces, whatever, choosing the design, choosing the color, the materials. But what I think is outstanding is that once it's designed, the custom shoes are crafted in our lab in Mallorca. So we really ensure a personal touch and I would call it high quality finish now to those shoes. And again, but it all revolves around the attention that Camper has for his community. It's super expensive service. We feel like it's super high end. And for me, like summing up, I think for me, Camper has been a great discovery, not only in terms of their high quality products, but also in terms of culture, in terms of people that are working in the company and are breathing this culture and value. My suggestion for everyone, I think it's really get to know more about the brand that you shop. I think we are in 2024. It's really easy to retrieve information. There are topics like quality, durability, if the brand has a repair service or not. I think are crucial to build a sustainable future. I will definitely doubt about any brand, in particular in the footwear industry, that has shiny products, but it cannot really grant is sustainability or durability. This is super strong point of view that we have developed in Camper.
And it seems you're adding a new element to that with modularity, right? Can we talk a bit about, you mentioned the customized shoe, but I think Roku seems to offer something in between. That's quite a new innovation, not something we've seen before. Tell us a little bit about that, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. Roku has been a great success so far. We launched it in February 2024. Modular shoes is not only to allow you full customization. It's a four module, it's four packs shoe. Again, it allows you full customization, but it's also to grant you the reparability of each part, or the
Hmm.
exchangeability of each part. It means that if you break your lace, you don't have to go back to a shop. Well, laces are common. But if your outsole is consumed, you don't have to throw away your shoe. You just buy that specific part, and you can exchange it. So we truly believe in this type of concept. We truly believe that Roku will become a pillar of our collection. We're definitely keen to push forward the sustainability and also customization or customizability. I don't know if it's the English part of our collection.
I love that, and I think we come full circle with that, right? You've got a brand that's since the '90s, before it was considered to be cool or important, focused on sustainability. You've built a community, and you're trying to create an experience that feels like a part of a community, but still gives people the individual freedom to creatively express themselves. And it seems like Roku is the amalgamation of all those ideas. I'm personally quite excited to get a pair myself and try them out. um, and I think that's also a very good end to the main part of our podcast. We like to finish up with a little fun round called the rapid fire round. I'll ask you 3 or 4 questions. Don't think too hard. Don't try to come up with a perfect answer. Just a word or a phrase. Tell us what's on your mind. And with that, we'll take it away. All right, Alan, can you tell us which your favorite pair of shoes is?
Yeah, without lying, it's Roku.
Do you have a specific style? Is that something we can look at even, or
I'm a sneaker guy, but again, because I'm truly committed with sustainability. I love nature, and I really want to respect it. I'm full in. I'm full throttle with innovation. And again, Roku was my perfect fit.
one failure that you learned the most from?
I failed a lot. Yeah, when I exchanged career, when I switched from a consolidated career in an investment fund into retail, I wasn't really sure. It took me definitely more than 6 months, probably a year or so for being successful. And what I've learned is that maybe 3 months or 6 months failure, if you have a strong why behind, can turn out into a success.
You have a picture of you surfing on your LinkedIn, and a close friend of mine who's a surfer as well says that like surfing is more about learning how to fall than anything else. So I feel like that's probably been a good lesson on its own. What would be the last meal you would want to eat?
Because I'm Italian, I will go for a pizza. Simple, easy, a good margarita.
Classic. All right. And then to round it up, tell us about a book that changed your mind.
Um, there are a few, right? But recently I read this one of Simon Sinek, Starts with Why. I think he really connects the way I'm working, the way my current company is working. And yeah, I really recommend it to everyone. I don't want to spoil it, but I highly recommend it to everyone.
One definitely hears it when we hear you speak about your work and about the brand that you seem to have found your why there. So that's been really exciting. I've really enjoyed talking to you. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for sharing your insights. If you have any last words for people who maybe are also on a journey thinking of retail as a possible destination for them, please share your direction for them, your guidance for them. I think there's many out there who are excited by retail but don't know.
It's an evolving world. I would not recommend it to anyone who wants to get rich. I think it's more about being passionate about the brand, tells a story, become good storyteller. I think this is retail. It's all about that.
Awesome. Thank you for your time today, Alan. Thanks for being on the pod. And we're excited to see what all you have up your sleeve for 2025.
Absolutely. Thanks, Mitul, for having me.
Thanks for tuning into this episode of the Retail Spotlight. Tell us how you found it, whether you're in the retail industry and want us to dive deeper into certain topics or invite certain guests, or if you're a passionate shopper enjoying a behind-the-scenes look, we want to hear from you. Hit us up with your comments, likes, and feedback. And if you know someone who loved this episode, please share it with them. Lastly, if you want to stay informed when we go next live with the next episode, make sure to hit the subscribe button. See you next time.